Hello. Today we're going to be looking at which WWE superstars have a chance of getting a push in 2025. I have a tier list here that includes some of those superstars. Some might be missing, but we're just going to have fun and go through this list and talk about who might be getting a push in 2026, not 2025. Gosh, time flies. Let's get started here. And they do have AJ Styles on this list, which is kind of sad. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna ignore him. I don't want to put him in Ain't No Way. So we're just gonna ignore AJ Styles here and let's move on. Akira Tozawa, you might already be able to argue that he's gotten a push in 2026 compared to past years, since he is getting a tag team championship match this Monday on Monday Night Raw against the Usos. They're surely going to lose that match, but for Akira Tozawa, I mean, he got the pin right on Monday Night Raw last week. That's a big deal for him. But for the rest of 2026, I think that'll be his peak. So I'm going to put him in Ain't No Way. Alba Fire should get a push in 2026. I feel like it's unfortunate and it's sad that most people don't know what Alba Fire is capable of. One of the greatest NXT UK champions. She's a phenomenal wrestler. Hasn't been given any opportunities to show that. And hopefully in 2026, something clicks, something changes for Alba Fire. Next, Aleister Black. I'm going to be a little optimistic, maybe a little too optimistic, and put Aleister Black in. Yup, because Aleister Black, I think, off the back of that Damian Priest feud, I think and I hope that the company sees value in him. I'm shocked that he wasn't in the Royal Rumble. Very interesting to not include him there. With the people were saying that he's like a sleeper pick to win, and they didn't even have him in the match. But I think in the long run, Aleister Black this year will hopefully and should get a push. Him and Zelina together just seem like money, and I really hope that they do that. We have Alex Shelley here next. We're going to include him for the tag team of Motor City Machine Guns, so we're going to combine them together there. And I think probably not. It seems like they might have gotten their moment with the tag team division. I'm going to put them in probably not because there is a chance they could get moved over to Raw, but it seems like the tag team divisions right now, SmackDown's is very story driven with the MFTs and the Wyatt Six. I don't see that ending anytime soon. And then over on Raw, you have big names like the New Day, the Usos. I don't see a specific spot for them to slot in. So right now we're going to go with that. Alexa Bliss is an interesting one. I'm going to put Alexa Bliss in They Should. I think Alexa obviously is an important figure. I'm tempted to put her in Yup because I mean, one way or another, she's gonna probably get some sort of championship, right? Whether her and Charlotte will probably eventually break up. Charlotte's right here. We can talk about her as well. We'll talk about her next. But Alexa, I think, could be a United States champion by the end of the year. She's definitely needed in that category, especially with the Bella Twins returning. That tag team division is now so stacked. They don't need to keep Charlexa together. So let's go ahead and put Bliss here, and then Charlotte, because she's Charlotte Flair, we're going to put her in Yup. I think a Jade Cargill match is probably on the horizon. We'll see. We'll see for Charlotte Flair. I mean, you can never doubt against Charlotte Flair winning championships, getting big moments. So I think it would be stupid to not put Charlotte in that category there. Angel Garza, we'll look for Los Garza. We'll look for what is it called? Los Garza? I can't remember right now. Him and Humberto Carrillo in AAA for sure are getting their push. Overall, I'm not sure on the main roster that they will. I think probably not. They are great wrestlers, and I think they're going to have a continuous good run in AAA. Angelo Dawkins. So we're looking at the Street Profits here. They never have been my favorite. I don't know why. I can't really connect with them. They're both great wrestlers. I just I don't know. For some reason, I've never been able to fully connect with them. But I think overall, they're great wrestlers with a good act. And I think that they should get a push. But I'm not sure if they will. Because, again, that tag team division is so overstacked. And I don't know if WWE is willing to pull the trigger on separating them. But right now, looking at them as a tag team, they should. But I'm not confident enough to say that they will. Apollo Crews, there ain't no way. He has been off TV for so long. He had that main event match. I don't know if you saw that with Kit Wilson, where he lost to Kit Wilson. Kit's on the rise. Apollo, unfortunately, I don't know if he's going to have much of anything to do this year. We'll see. Asuka, Asuka's a tricky one because the story with Kairi Sane, I mean, a lot of people want it to be pay-per-view worthy, PLE worthy, but I don't know if it will be. I mean, they tend to just put these kinds of things, big blow-off matches like this, just on a Monday Night Raw. So if that's the case, she was just tag team champions. That tag division's so stacked. This might be a weird one. I want to put her in probably not, but I'll put her in they should. They should continue to see Asuka as a big threat. They should continue to see Asuka as someone that can win championships at any moment, go into that main event scene at any moment. We'll see how they use her moving forward. We have Axiom here. We're going to use it for Fraxium, including Nathan Frazier. So this tag team right now is involved with Johnny Gargano, who interestingly is not in a tag team, but they've been able to show their personalities a lot on SmackDown with it being 3 hours, which I think is such a great thing and something that we maybe didn't expect being such a peak part of everything on on Friday Night SmackDown being 3 hours, but it really allowed them to showcase themselves. I think compared to this year, they probably will, but again, I think they're going to fall in that same category as Motor City Machine Guns and Los Garza, where there's just too much. There's too many tag teams right now. It's too story driven. The Wyatt Six are right here. I'm gonna put the Wyatt Six. Oh gosh, these tag teams, man. I'm gonna put them in probably not as well. I think that a WrestleMania match for them would be great, but I just don't see it happening. I think the Wyatt Six. We have Uncle Howdy here subbing in for the entirety of the Wyatt Six. I think the Wyatt Six, I think, are similar to these other teams where the tag team division is not respected in the WWE unless it's a big name like the Usos. I think the Wyatt Six might get some more character work to do on SmackDown, but I mean, looking at the entirety of the Wyatt Six, I don't think we can expect uh, anything massive for them above what they're already doing right now. Bianca Belair. Let's all pray to God that Bianca Belair returns as soon as possible because her presence is noticeably missed on SmackDown and on WWE overall. If she comes back, which I think she will, she's definitely taking that title from Jade Cargill at some point this year. It might not be at WrestleMania since she didn't return at the Rumble, but I think eventually she will take that title off of Jade Cargill and be a world champion again. It's been too long for Bianca. She's such a good wrestler and one of the best personalities, larger than life superstars they got. Braun Breaker, 100% is in line. I think he maybe is the highest potential of being a first-time world champion this year of any other superstar who hasn't been a world champion. I think he's the one to bet on to make that switch and become in that upper echelon there. Love Braun Breaker. Bronson Reed, he should, but I don't think he's quite in that same category as Braun Breaker. He had the big moment with Roman Reigns that they haven't been able to capitalize on, but I do hope that Bronson Reed gets more and more momentum as the year goes on, but we'll see. So we have Brutus Creed here. We're going to talk about the Creed brothers as a tag team. I think it's going to be similar to these other tag teams that are just going to get lost in the shuffle. Because right now the Usos, the New Day on Raw, and then over on SmackDown, it's very story driven. I think overall, a lot of these tag teams are going to end up in probably not. Candice LeRae is another one I'm going to put her in probably not, even though she is such a great wrestler and worker, and she definitely deserves it. I almost want to put her in they should, but I think it's just very overwhelmingly obvious to me that she probably will not get a push in 2026. Carmelo Hayes, I want to put him in yup. I feel like I have to put him in should, because I'm not 100% confident, because a lot of times they don't utilize their best stars. Carmelo Hayes, I think, is one of the best wrestlers on the roster. I think he's proving that with the United States Championship Open Challenge. I hope that he holds it to WrestleMania. I hope that they put him on WrestleMania, either with Ilya, maybe Obafemi, something like that. But I could also see that just being the SmackDown before WrestleMania or a pay-per-view before WrestleMania, or maybe he loses it right before then so that they can put on a bigger star for a bigger match that's more WrestleMania worthy, I say in air quotes, in Triple H's eyes, right? So he should. I want to put him in yup, but I don't trust the WWE to treat him correctly. We have Chad Gable here, who they're claiming is also the original El Grande Americano. I'm not sure if that's the truth or not, but we'll see. I think yup. I think yup. As compared to what he's getting in the past, I think it's clear that we're going to a WrestleMania match or something with the El Grande Americanos. They put El Grande Americano in the Rumble twice over Finn Balor, Aleister Black, Carmelo Hayes. They went with 2 El Grande Americanos. So that tells you what the company sees in them, so I have no choice but to put him in yup. Chelsea Green. Recently, I'm going to put her in they should because she's an amazing talent who makes moments and is a good enough wrestler to get over as well. She recently in the Unreal documentary, Michael Hayes talked about how Chelsea Green can never be a world champion, and she took offense to that. And I'm proud of her for going on. I believe it was on Twitter. She came out and said that it sucks to see that. There's been a bit of an outcry from the community that she be treated correctly and better. And um, yeah, I'm 100% on the Chelsea Green boat. I think she would make a great world champion. I mean, a Money in the Bank winner, Chelsea Green, would be money. That would be TV that I'd love to tune into every single week. So I hope that they don't flop her and that they treat her the way that they should. But again, I'm not confident enough in this company to do that. Cody Rhodes, of course. Do I even have to say? Of course, he's going to have a big year, whether he's a champion again or not. Most likely, he'll win that championship back at WrestleMania, and if not, he's going to be in that picture all year. It may be a bit of a down year for Cody Rhodes compared to the last couple years. I'm not confident that he's in a main event WrestleMania night 1. Night 2, of course, is CM Punk and Roman Reigns, but night 1, I'm not confident that it's going to be him and Drew. I think that it might go to the woman. Maybe it should go to the woman as well, depending on what Rhea and Io do. But yeah, I think Cody might have a down year compared to himself, but overall he's gonna have such a big year, and he's gonna have that push that we're talking about. Damian Priest, I think probably not. I think his peak is probably behind him as far as winning championships. I don't think we're gonna see a world champion Damian Priest again soon. Maybe a mid card title. I think he'd be a good United States champion again, and he's good in the ring. So I think we can definitely expect to see him hover around these scenes, but I don't think we're gonna see him get that big push compared to what he normally gets and compared to some of these other stars. Dominic Mysterio, 100%. He would make a great Money in the Bank as well. He's honestly my first choice for Money in the Bank. I'd love to see it. But I think that Dominic Mysterio, obviously, he's been gone for a bit. Maybe he should have been stripped of that Intercontinental Championship. He's going to go into WrestleMania as the champion. You can already tell just because of the way that they haven't stripped him of that title. They must have plans for him. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with Dominic Mysterio moving forward. Either way, I think his trajectory is just going to keep going up, 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 and I think that's deserved, and I think it's right. So we'll keep that there. Dragon Lee, I want to put him in Ain't No Way, but he had that great spot with Gunther on Raw, so I'm going to put him up into probably not. I think that might be moving Gunther into feuding with Rey Mysterio. But we'll see. Maybe Dragon Lee will have a match with Gunther. But that I'm sure would be very good. Dragon Lee's a great wrestler. He had a great run with AJ Styles. I actually loved him coming out to defend AJ Styles on Raw. And I hope that we see more of that kind of heart from Dragon Lee. It was the most character we've seen from him. You could see the emotion in his eyes. It was such a great segment. And I might just skip over to Gunther right now because we were talking about him. Yeah, he is on top of the world right now. I think if this momentum continues, he's going to be retiring everyone this year. He's going to be a multiple time champion. He's going to be running this company as he should. He's a phenomenal wrestler. I love Gunther. And so, of course, I'm putting him in yup. Next, let's focus on the Viking Raiders. We have Eric here. We're going to count him for both. They got squashed by Obafemi, which is a little annoying and upsetting for them. But also, I think it's the right call considering the fact that the tag team division again is so stacked. So I'm going to put him in probably not as well. This tag team problem, and this is proof of what I was talking about earlier with the way the WWE views them, because they were willing to sacrifice the Viking Raiders as a threat to Obafemi because they're not as involved in this tag team division unless you're the Usos or the New Day. They're not really involved in that same capacity. We have Julia here. I honestly think, yup. I think Julia is going to be treated. I think this United States Championship reign for her is going to be a lot longer than the first one. I think Jordynne Grace is a competitor that might take it from her. But I think right now what we're seeing Julia get that stock back in her. They're trying really hard, I think, to promote Julia moving forward. So I think Triple H clearly likes his Joshi wrestlers as well. So I'm going to keep her in yup. That might be a little bit of an over-exaggeration, but I'm comfortable with her being there going into this next year. It's funny that Andrade's on this list. He, of course, is in AEW now. Austin Theory is next here. He's had so many pushes that he's seen rise to the top and then not quite make it, which is interesting. I think this might be the one, though. Right? I mean, it depends on where the story goes. I think he's going to be revealed as a partner with Seth. So if this is the case, and that's what I'm going to assume, then I'm going to put him in. They should, because I'm not sure if it's the case. But if they work this story correctly, which they should, then Austin Theory should be a much bigger deal eventually in 2026 than he is right now and than he has been in his career so far. BFAB, I'm going to put in Ain't No Way. Unfortunately, I don't think she has that charisma or that pure wrestling ability right now, and she's also injured, so that obviously puts a big hindrance on her. Bayley, I'm going to put in They Should. They tend to use Bayley as a stepping stone in the tag team division and the singles division, and then she gets her big moments every couple of years. But those are becoming fewer and farther between for her. So I think moving forward, Bayley, unfortunately, is not in line for a big push. I mean, I'm hoping that her and Lyra get put on WrestleMania, but I don't even think that's going to happen at this point. Becky Lynch, yup. I think this AJ Lee feud is going to be awesome to watch. I think we're all excited to see that match at WrestleMania, whether it's for the title or not. She might lose the title before it's to Natalya. We'll see about that. But Becky Lynch, of course, generational talent. I think once she's done with this, she should go right back into the world title picture. And she'll probably be a world champion again at some point this year, at least having those matches. She's phenomenal, and they should use her every opportunity they get. And I think that they do use her pretty well usually. CM Punk, we're going to put in yup. He's the world champion right now. Going to main event night 2 of WrestleMania with Roman Reigns. Whether he wins or not, I'm honestly not sold that Roman's going to win. Most people seem like that's the clear choice. I'm not sold that's the case. But we're going to go ahead and put him in yup because either way, he's CM Punk. And he's going to have a great year with great matches, as CM Punk does. Drew McIntyre, we're going to put in yup. He already kind of got the push that, people were saying for years that he wasn't getting used correctly, and finally he's the champion, even if he won the championship in a kind of a cowardly way, escaping the cage through the door with help from Jacob Fatu, who we can talk about actually right here as well. But I think Drew definitely will continue this momentum. I think he should retain the championship at WrestleMania against Cody Rhodes. It's the path they're going down. But he probably will lose it. Either way, I think another big year for Drew McIntyre incoming. And for Jacob Fatu, I think this is going to be his biggest year in the WWE so far. He's already rubbing shoulders with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. There's a chance that Randy Orton gets revealed as his attacker, and they have a match at WrestleMania. Regardless, I think Jacob Fatu is just on the rise, and he's such a great wrestler, so I'm happy to say that. Let's talk about Finn Balor. Finn Balor, I think yup. I think the last couple of years, he's been like in a Dolph Ziggler type of role, where they use him to elevate other stars. He doesn't really get to show how great of a wrestler he is until all of a sudden he has this kind of match, and it's like, wow, this guy can wrestle, which of course we all know already. I think maybe an Intercontinental Championship run this year for Finn Balor can be expected, and this World Heavyweight Championship program with CM Punk is already a big upgrade for him in general. Grayson Waller, I think probably not. He's just hanging out with the New Day right now. That at least shows that they view him as someone that they want to have on TV because they found this spot for him, even if it's not the best spot. They found it for him because they believe in him. So we're going to put him in probably not, but not Ain't No Way because they definitely value him. And he's a great, charismatic person who can wrestle. So I hope that he gets a good shot this year, but I think he'll just continue to float around. Next, let's talk about Ilya Dragunov, who should, I'll put him right next to Carmelo Hayes, should get a WrestleMania match, should be in this United States Championship picture, should eventually graduate to maybe the World Championship picture. But again, I'm not confident in the WWE to do that, so we're going to go ahead and put him in They Should, right with Carmelo Hayes. Jade Cargill, yup, it's crazy. I was going to say I think she's already peaked this year, but she hasn't even defended her championship yet. I think this year is going to be a big story year for her. Hopefully she continues to get better in the ring as she has. And I think she's going to have matches with Tiffany Stratton, Jordynne Grace, Bianca Belair, maybe Chelsea Green. And I think it's going to be a good year for Jade Cargill overall. For the Usos, we're going to talk about them as a tag team. So let's pull Jey Uso and we'll have him be the face of the tag team. Because I think and I hope that they stay together as a tag team and that's their role going forward. And I'm going to put them in yup. I wouldn't be surprised if they hold these tag team titles all year. The New Day, of course, I think could take it from them. Or The Vision, which is interesting because I didn't think about that when I talked about Bronson. But I'm seeing Logan down here. And I'm thinking maybe we put Logan in yup. And we do that off the back end of the belief that some combination of Logan Paul, Bronson, Reed, Austin Theory take the tag team titles from the Usos, or maybe even feud with them at WrestleMania instead of the New Day. I think that's definitely possible. So we'll put Logan and Yup Yup next to Jey Uso. Kairi Sane we'll put her with Asuka. This program that they're doing should give them both a push, should get them both a bit of the spotlight, but I'm not confident that it will. Either way, I think we're going to get some great matches out of these two, and I hope that happens sooner rather than later. After the Royal Rumble spot, I was excited to see them on Monday Night Raw, but they weren't on the show, unfortunately. They didn't capitalize on that as quickly as I think they should have. Hopefully next week we see them, and they can continue their storyline from there. Kiana James she had a great showing in the Rumble, surprising a lot of people, and she should totally get pushed this year. I think that she'd be a great mid-card champion. I'd love to hear more from her. I'd love to see more from her, and I think most people are on that same page. So we'll see what happens with her in this upcoming year. Okay, excuse me. Let's talk about Liv Morgan, who's a clear yup. She won the Women's Royal Rumble. She's going on to WrestleMania. I think she'll win the championship at WrestleMania and have a great year. She's one of my favorites. She's one of the best. So we'll put her in yup. Maxine Dupree. She's going to continue to feud with Natalya. She's going to continue to feud in that Intercontinental Championship picture. But I think overall, she's peaked. I think that Intercontinental Championship reign was the biggest for her. I might get a lot of hate for that. I don't think she's the best wrestler in the world, even though she has improved a good amount. I don't see her being the best of the best that we see moving forward in this division. So I'm going to go ahead and place her there. Next, we have Nia Jax, who, I mean, she got outshined by Lash Legend, didn't she? So I think that her role in that role may be going away for Nia Jax, and she might be moving down the card a bit. I think she'll continue to remain a big threat, but I also think she'll get snubbed on the WrestleMania card again this year, and I think we'll move on without Nia Jax in that picture scene. Let's see here. How much further down can I go here? Let's see. I'm going to scroll down just a bit more. I apologize, just so we can see these names down here. Otis, I think we put with Tozawa. Mia Yim is injured currently. I'm going to put her with BFAB. I think that you can kind of copy-paste everything here. Mia Yim is definitely a good wrestler, but has not been able to showcase her personality in any way. Pete Dunne should. Right now he's just running around, supposedly, as is either Rayo or Bravo, I forget, behind the new El Grande Americano, tall El Grande Americano. I think he'll continue to be involved in that storyline for a bit, but hopefully he can get out of there and do something better. We have R-Truth. I think probably not. I think he had a great showing last year with that comeback and getting the crowd behind him, getting us behind him on Twitter, online. But I think the overall story of R-Truth is going to be wrapping up pretty soon. And I don't know if we can expect to see a big push for him this year. Randy Orton, yes, in some capacity, he's going to remain in this championship picture. He's going to remain on top. He's definitely going to get a WrestleMania match, as he always does. It might be a bit of a down year compared to past years, because I don't know if I see him winning championships. I don't know if I see him main eventing pay-per-views. But he's going to be Randy Orton. He's going to remain on top. Roxanne Perez should. She was a workhorse this year, but I don't know if we can expect to see her being utilized in the same way now that the Judgment Day is splitting up. I think it'll depend on what side she picks if the Judgment Day implodes, and how they move forward with Roxanne Perez there. Santos Escobar. I'm going to put him in Ain't No Way. I know that they recently hired him back, so you'd think that there has to be something for him, but I think that it's mainly going to be in AAA, so I think on WWE's main TV program, we can't expect to see Santos in any major spots. Sheamus 100% should. I hope he gets his Intercontinental Championship this year. The one reason he hasn't retired yet, they haven't given it to him, and he's been in the search for it for years. I hope that he finally can get it. I hope he gets everything he deserves. Sheamus is such a good wrestler still, and he deserves the world, so rooting for Sheamus. We have Tama Tonga here. We're going to have him be the stand-in for the entirety of the MFT, and we're going to place him in probably... I'm going to place him probably not, because I'm kind of bored of the MFTs, I can't lie. I don't think they have a lot of personality. I think they're kind of just running around. I know Solo Sikoa has gotten a lot of positive attention from this, and I think he has a good future ahead of him, but I think overall for this group, I think they're going to be doing some solo stuff. So if we're looking at them as a group, as I said we were I think probably not. I know they're tag team champions right now. I could see them giving the titles right back to the Wyatt Six, honestly. So we'll see what happens, but I think right now I'm gonna put them in probably not. The Miz up next here. I'm gonna put him in probably not. I think he's definitely now just a stepping stone character, and I think he's okay with that. He's had such great career moments, multiple time champion, and I think he's not as big of a threat now as he used to be. So I think he'll continue to be a stepping stone and someone that can work with these people pretty well. Let's see who else we got down here as we scroll down because we're running towards the bottom of the list. I'm going to pull Zelina Vega, Seth Rollins, Io Sky. We can talk about JD McDonough. Why not? John Cena's gone. It's always hard with these lists because you don't know exactly when they were made. But Johnny Gargano, Sami Zayn, give me Roman, Rhea. I have a lot to talk about with Rey Mysterio. Penta, of course. Kevin Owens, so sad. I hope that Kevin Owens can come back soon and that this injury is not too devastating. But I know we're not sure at the moment, unfortunately. Give me Xavier. Give me a stand-in for the New Day. Ludwig Kaiser. Man, he's been gone, huh? Doing his own thing. Who knows where he is? Anyone else that I really would like to talk about? No, I think we're going to leave it like that. And what are we seeing here? Okay. Let's talk next about... Let's see, how low can we go there? Okay. Let's talk about Zelina Vega, because I believe Zelina Vega is probably not going to get a push. I think last year winning that United States Championship was a reward for her for being such a someone that they can rely on in a lot of these scenarios. She's always kind of teetered there. I think if the mid-card titles, I've said this before, if the mid-card titles had been around longer, we would have seen her win multiple mid-card championships by now. But they weren't, and she's a tag team champion, now United States champion, and but I think in the rest of the year, there's different people that are going to fill those roles, and she'll just continue to be a support character, which there's nothing wrong with. LA Knight. He should. It's been a long time coming for LA Knight, and I think he should get a push in some capacity in 2026. He definitely deserves it. He's definitely worthy of it. I don't know if I see him being a world champion, but I think he can continue to be a mid-card champion. He can continue to get big spots and get the crowd hyped. That's what he's good at, and that's what they need right now. Next, we're looking at Seth Rollins. Obviously, I think when he returns from injury, he's going to be a big deal here, as he should be. Io Sky, another one. I think she could be a multiple-time world champion this year. She's always going to be in that title picture after the year she's had this last year and a half, right? Io Sky is one of the best wrestlers in the world, if not the best wrestler in the world, male or female. And I think the WWE knows that, so let's keep her there. Natalya, I think they should, with this new character, she should get a bit of a push. I don't think it's going to be massive, but I think for Natalya, this Intercontinental Championship, I think she has a chance of winning it. So that's going to be massive for her. But I think overall, going into the end of the year, looking at this year as a whole, I don't know if that momentum will continue or not. But I'm definitely excited to see what she has in store. I want to talk about Lyra Valkyria next, because I saw her, and I feel super similar for her and Bayley. Let's put them together. Is it even possible? Yes, it is. I view them really similarly. They're both workhorses, and I think Lyra is starting to get used as a stepping stone in the tag team division, which I don't love. So I hope she's able to be used a little more seriously, and she definitely should get a push. As well as Naomi. When Naomi's back, when she's ready to come back, she should be immediately put into that world championship picture to get that title back that she never lost. Her character work and her in-ring work was the best we've ever seen from her, and she's phenomenal as is. So when she's ready, she should get that spot. I'm not confident that they will deliver on that correctly, but she should. Raquel Rodriguez, also great year. I'm going to run through a couple of these here. Raquel grown into herself so well. She should get a push. Penta also should get a push. I could see him being a mid-card champion, or at least being in that echelon where he's considered a true threat, right? He's such great in the ring. He seems like a great guy from the Unreal documentary as well. Rusev, I think probably not. I think he came back and he's already been used maybe to his full extent that they're willing to use him in. We'll see. Rhea Ripley, yup, I think with the Io Sky there. Potentially a multiple-time world champion this year. Potential WrestleMania main event depending on how they work out that storyline. Rhea's awesome. Kit Wilson. with this new theme song and the support behind him, I think he should get a push in some capacity. I mean, this character seems to be interesting and it seems to be connecting with people, so I think we should at least see more from him. So I think compared to his past years, he's gonna get a push, and he should get a push. Stephanie Vaquer. This is an interesting one. I'm gonna put her in they should. I think that there's a chance that after she wins this championship, or sorry, after she loses this championship, she could be lost in the shuffle a bit, which I hope is not the case. But I think that could be the case. Let me try to see if I can't fix this a bit. And get us a little more space here. Give me one moment to see if we can do that. Sorry, I just want to make sure that we don't get completely lost here. There we go. That's a little bit better as we move on. Okay. Who do we got next? We're running out here. We have a couple left. Next, we're going to talk about Johnny Gargano, who should get a push this year. He is a fantastic wrestler who's doing some great character work with Candice LeRae, and I think he totally should get a push going into the new year. I could see him being a mid-card champion. I could see him fulfilling any role they needed to fulfill. If they gave him enough legitimacy, he could be a world champion one day. It's all up to how much they put into him, because he's going to be able to meet those moments. Next, we're going to talk about Sami Zayn, and I'm going to put him in they should as well. I'm not confident that they will, but I think Sami Zayn should get a push. As always, he should always get a push. I hope that he can become the World Heavyweight Champion. I think that would be a good championship for him to win, and I hope that he can get that one day because he truly deserves it. He's maybe out of all the people that haven't been world champions, he might be the most obvious one to make a world champion, the most shocking one that he isn't. Next year, we have Tiffany Stratton, and I think she will. As far as getting a WrestleMania match, as far as being a contender, I think she will. I don't know if it'll be the biggest year for her compared to past years. She kind of came out hot out of the gates, right? But I think overall, we can definitely consider her having an up year. WWE clearly views her heavily. They had her return at number 30. They clearly see her as a big draw and a big part of the women's division. We're going to talk about Rey Mysterio next, who... this is a tough one. He should get a push because he's ending this year. So let's say this. Let's say he's wrapping up soon, and he's a phenomenal wrestler. He's an iconic wrestler. He's a Hall of Famer. So they should give him the respect he deserves in these final months, years of his career. I mean, you never know. He could go on forever. He's such a good wrestler where you don't realize how old he is. You don't realize how long he's been doing it because he's still so smooth in the ring. So it all comes down to how long he wants to continue to do it. But if he wants to retire soon, then I hope that they give him the perfect retirement storyline. They might feed him to Gunther, or they might do a story with Dominic. I'm not sure. Either way, he should get everything he wants, and he should be treated well all the time regardless because he's Rey Mysterio. Roman Reigns, yes, of course, Roman Reigns is going to be getting a push this year. He's going to be main eventing WrestleMania Night 2, probably winning the World Championship off of CM Punk. Roman Reigns, I think, is in turn for another big year. Another big year for Roman lining up. I just hope he doesn't remain as part-time as he has in the past. Xavier Woods is our stand-in for the New Day. I think they should get a push. I think they will. I think that them and the Usos are probably the end game, right, for this Raw Tag Team division right now. But I don't know. They could always just go with division and have them be the heels that feud with the Usos. But I think the New Day and Usos feud should be renewed here. The New Day should be in a much bigger spot, and they haven't been, which is unfortunate. And lastly here, we're going to talk about Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm going to put him in Ain't No Way. I think he has peaked. I think the way he wrestles is very certain. I think the way that the company views him is very much in a box. But I think overall, Shinsuke Nakamura, unfortunately, is just not... He's just not the same Shinsuke, right? He just isn't. He showed us with AJ Styles at Saturday Night's Main Event that he can put on these classics, but it's just not... I don't think it's in the cards for this next year to be a big Shinsuke Nakamura year. So let's see. Am I able to show you everyone at once? Okay, here's my full list. Let me look over it and see if there's anyone that I need to change. I think Tiffany Stratton being in Yup is a bit of a push, so let's put her down into They Should. I wish I did a second category here where it's not my personal opinion of They Should without being as sure as Yup. because that's where Tiffany will probably fall. But besides that, this is my final list. I think I'm pretty happy with it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you disagree with. But we're going to leave it at that. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Make sure to subscribe if you can and like the video. Thank you so much. Bye.